Yo, Lethal Lola coming back down to earth here, and people are going bananas over this controversy. If you do not know what I'm referring to, ladies and gentlemen, well, I am talking about the shockgate controversy. Well, what is a shockgate controversy, Lorenzo? Well, let me explain it to you right now. Shockgate, as some people are calling it, is where the political streamer Hasanabi shocked his dog on stream for the world to see.
Okay, it's the same reason as to why America, Kaya, please just fucking go, just stop.
Now granted, although I don't believe this is a big deal in the grand scheme of things, right, I do believe that when somebody culminates so much hate based off their far leftist ideology that can closely associate itself with a Marxist-Leninist approach,
kill them, kill those motherfuckers, and murder those motherfuckers in the street. Let the streets soak in their fucking red capitalist bloods, dude.
Or even his continuous advocacy for terrorism.
Hezbollah is a paramilitary organization that is also a part of the Lebanese parliament.
Do we like them or no?
I think as a resistance group, they're pretty successful against Israel. I don't have an issue with them, let's just say.
Are enough reasons for there to be a population of people that want this man to be canceled. It's understandable. Now, do I believe that Hasan actually shocked his dog? Well, I do believe that there is enough observable data to conclude that. I mean, we see him reach over his desk, and then a reaction comes from his dog shortly after, which is not that difficult of a conclusion to deduce from that clip, that there could be a possibility. We're not even making it a definite reality. A possibility that Hasan could have used a shock collar on his dog, but his audience are so brainwashed to the point where it can't even be a possibility. You must be admitted to the psych ward for even thinking that. Like, am I being gaslit right now? Did we watch the same clip? A reasonable person with a functioning brain can come to that easy conclusion. And it's like, okay, well, let's say he didn't shock his dog, right? Let's say that possibility is not even in question. Do you think it is okay for him to keep his dog in the background of his stream for aesthetic purposes so he can be perceived a certain way? Should we normalize that? Him place holding his dog in one position for hours out of the day, and instantly when this dog decides to move a muscle, he gets upset. He visibly gets agitated and frustrated at her because she decided to move. Like, that's not okay.
You're being such a baby.
Like, wanting to explore movement should be chastised and punished in the Hasanabi household. You know, how dare you want to get up and free roam while I stream? How else is everybody going to know that I'm a well-rounded human being and a dog lover if you are not in view like a displayed Funko Pop? And then his fans come up with their own conclusion where they say that the dog, Kaya, clipped its nail without any further proof. They just said that. There is no observable data that can conclude that. Obviously, we can see Hasan reach over his desk for something, and then the dog visibly give a reaction and then lay back down. And typically when a dog hurts a part of their body, they will treat it by licking it, by, you know, caring for it. We don't see any of that. The only thing we see is a frightened puppy who is terrified of its owner. It's crazy to me how if you don't support Hasan, his fans will automatically categorize you as a white supremacist neo-Nazi who promotes a genocide. You know, like, how did we stumble on that conclusion? You know, is Hasan exempt from all criticism?
Constantly in a state of zapping. They moved away from the initial conversation, which was that, like, she didn't even have that collar on to begin with. What were you reaching for in the clip? What do you think? That's where all my fucking Zintins are. An arm moves around, or like, I unlock the gate, or some shit. Like, I do have a button on my desk for the gate, right? And I unlock the gate, and obviously, if you have a dog, you know this already, when they hear that the gate is unlocked, they perk up. They're like, oh my god, he shocked her again.
All Hasan has to do is lie and fake a narrative on stream, and his entire fan base will turn a blind eye to what is evidently on the screen and ignore all evidence. You know, Hasan might as well be a religion based off the way his fans follow him with blind faith. Hasan is like that one Homelander meme every time he lies, where he's surprised that his brain dead audience will glaze him for just about anything. Like, his fans are actually insane. I think they should be admitted to the psych ward or get lobotomized, because there is no way that they are so tunnel visioned into this one narrative. That's it, one narrative. There are no other alternatives. Just Hasan is right, Hasan is right, Hasan is right, Gaza. Like, that's all they think about. And what I believe that stems from is that you have this one political superpower that holds all of their beliefs, whether that be supporting Palestine or far leftist ideology, whatever it may be. He is supporting their beliefs on this foundation, and if it ever falls, then they no longer have power. And that's why I believe they have to kind of fixate and tunnel vision in on everything that he does, right? Everything that Hasan does to them is right. He can do no wrong because they don't want to lose that power, which is a terrible way of approaching things, because I do believe that everybody does deserve some level of criticism for their actions. It's like narcissistic people try to latch on to a morally righteous cause like a parasite so that they can make you feel like a shitty person for not following those ideas. And or if you do follow those ideas, you have no right to criticize them because they are following this righteous path. But then another video surfaced on the internet recently, which I believe is far worse than him supposedly shocking his dog, where he is pulling another dog by its tail and saying that he is going to fucking kill it if it doesn't listen to him.
Stay. If you run right now, I'll fucking kill you. Like, I'll actually kill you, okay? In front of everyone. Stay. Come here. Hey. Motherfucker, come here.
And it's like, certainly his fans will criticize him over this clip, right? Like, you can't support this. This is clear dog abuse at its finest, regardless if it was 5 years ago. Hell, even if it was 5 years ago or even 8 years ago, Hasan was already a fully grown man with a fully developed brain doing this shit. But then you look at the comments and you still see people try to defend him, which is what? An example of this is with this comment where a user responds to the abuse. No way. How about you go volunteer at the SPCA and deal with real abuse cases? I do, and I'm telling you, this is not abuse, and he takes good care of that dog. You should see the evil shit people do to animals. You probably don't care though and are either right wing or a Zionist, or both. So, where this user comments back to that user and says, just because there is a spectrum of severity of abuse does not mean pulling a dog's tail and threatening to kill it if it misbehaves is any less invalidating. Where this user responds, did you know dogs don't know English? So the dogs didn't know what he was saying. Just as I call my dog fat and he doesn't understand that, so his feelings aren't hurt. Or would you call that fat shaming? And the context of the video is a dog running away. I've thrown myself on my dog when it ran off the road. If I could have gotten a hold of his tail or leg, I would have grabbed anything. It's so fucked to call this abuse when animals are actually being abused. Abuse is not a scale. If you genuinely care about animals at all, go volunteer at your local shelter. I work at mine. What the fuck are you talking about? First of all, did you even watch the clip? This dog is not running away from anything. If anything, it looks like it's in a confined space. The dog was just standing there, not listening to Hasan, where his ego got hurt. So he grabbed the dog by his tail and started pulling it. It's not the fact that the dog can't understand human language. It's the fact that we could understand human language, and we know that when somebody says they are going to kill something, it's considered an act of aggression. What is this person even talking about? And then the audacity to virtual signal and say, well, I work at an SPCA. You should work at your nearest dog shelter as well. What are we even talking about? And yes, okay, it's not a scale. Let's go by your definition. It's black and white. Well, then him pulling a dog by its tail because it wasn't listening is clearly evil. It's on the bad side. These are the type of people you have to defend yourself against when it comes to Hasan. Like this fucking Looney Tune batshit crazy motherfuckers. Like, from a psychological standpoint, it does not seem that this man has a capacity to take care of a dog properly without wanting to dominate it in some way, right? Like, he has to have full control over this dog, or his ego will get bruised and the dog will suffer because of it, as we've seen not only with the tail clip but with the shock collar as well. He then showcases the collar to his audience, even though you couldn't really see anything because of his big fucking hands. Brother, move them out the way, please. We can't see anything. But he revealed that it was not a shock collar, but a vibration collar, but that he didn't use it on that day, or that people are speculating that he shocked his dog. He said he did not use it that day, even though we did see a reaction from his dog. He didn't use it that day though, guys. His dog obviously clipped its nail on something. That's what happened. And if you believe otherwise, well, guess what? You're fucking Ed Gein, brother, because you are certified insane. Which, interesting enough, because Hasan might not be the brightest bulb of the bunch, but people on the internet, because they are not dumb, they obviously screenshotted the stream where the collar was visible to the audience, where people turned up the brightness of the photo and revealed that there was actually tape underneath the collar. Typically on shock collars, there would be prongs attached to them, but in some of these e-collars, they are actually detachable, where people are coming to the conclusion that all he did was detach the prongs from the collar and put tape over it to conceal it. Now, why else would there be tape at the bottom of the collar if he wasn't being deliberately deceptive towards his audience? If he had just come out and said, hey, I did use a vibration on my dog. It is a great way for a dog of her size to be taught. And then it'd be like, okay, well, there is some validity to what he is saying. And all right, yeah, sure. Like, okay, that's fine. There is obviously going to be some criticism, but not to this extent. The reason I think it even got to this point is because he is a weaselly little liar. And that's like the biggest issue I have with this entire thing, because if he is able to lie about this, what else has he lied to his audiences about? How can we consider this man to be a credible source when he is continuously being blatantly misleading and has never truly taken any accountability? His favorite tactic, his favorite ult, is when he is under any scrutiny, he strategically chooses to undermine and attack the people that are criticizing him and generalize them as evil, genocide hating, basement dwelling, subhuman deformities, just basically any bad thing that you can think of. You know, he basically has a list of buzzwords on his notes app, and he does like a spin the wheel to decide what defamatory term to use that particular day to discredit the person who is attacking him.
But now the only people that still are like actively pushing it are people who are genuinely mentally ill. They are weird stalkers that are demonstrating their mental illness. All of the people that hate me also automatically hate women in general.
But honestly, he can't utilize that line of defense this time around, because this controversy has extended beyond just his typical hater. Even the YouTuber Penguin Zero, or Moist Critical, who is known for his very ethical and reasonable takes, and tends to tackle internet controversies like this, provides his insight on the situation, where he basically came to the same conclusion as everybody who isn't a member of Stupidsville came to, which was that this looked very bad, and it does appear that he did in fact use a device of some sort to incite the reaction that we saw on his dog.
And he just kind of propped it up as like the only people that would believe this are like bad people in the first place, or like, you know, grifters, this kind of thing. And I just find that to just be so disingenuous, because most people are going to see this and it looks like you shock your dog. Given how annoyed you are with the dog, and right before she yelps out in pain, you roll your eyes, you look at something off screen, you clearly are like, you are reaching off screen, that is very clear, and then the dog yelps while you were still annoyed, and then instead of doing like what I feel like most dog owners would do, would like check to see like, is everything all right? Why'd she just yelp in pain? Instead of doing that, calling her a baby and then mentioning how spoiled she is about roaming the house, like that doesn't compute.
And you know what Hasan's response to this? Instead of taking accountability, finally, he basically tried to destroy Moist Critical's credibility by reducing him to another Reddit grifter who is afraid of 747s.
All these guys fucking do is basically farm Reddit for talking points, and Reddit can so easily be botted and manipulated. This is what goes for like doing commentary on the internet, is just like, oh, these are the Reddit threads from some of the most like schizophrenic people you've ever actually encountered. Charlie, Moist Critical is afraid of getting on a fucking plane.
Like bro is 31 years old and can't even fly on airplanes, and we're taking advice from this doofus?
Which is actually quite hilarious, because Hasan has actually championed Moist Critical for his great and fair takes. But just because now he's on the back burner of one of those criticisms, then all of a sudden Moist Critical is disabled from any intellectual validity at all. How his audience is so politically brainwashed that they believe the reason Moist Critical decided to run with this narrative in the first place and criticize Hasan was because of his connections with the IDF, and yet they're calling us the conspiratorial schizophrenics. There has also been evidence that highlights that the e-collar that Hasan used was in fact the shock collar model and not the vibration model that he and his fans are dying on the hill on, but yet there has been no coverage on this whatsoever. And like I said, Hasan does his thing where he takes the easiest part of the controversy to disprove and generalize the entire controversy based off that one criticism, instead of going into detail about each clip that has surfaced. And people on the internet are going to find shit out. They are the greatest detectives that we can have, and clearly this isn't the first time Hasan has used the shock collar on his dog. There had been multiple incidences that this has happened where it applies to the same pattern that the shockgate video has conveyed, where he is reaching towards the side of his desk and there is a reaction from his dog, albeit not as bad as the one on October 7th, but still a reaction nonetheless. And here's another heavy dose of cope from Hasan, where in this Instagram post he tries to rewrite the narrative and believes that this was a coordinated attack against him for being pro-Palestine. He captioned in the post, "She has no idea she has been the most famous dog on the internet for the past 2 days because of a coordinated far-right pro-Israel slander campaign." I'm sorry, is the coordinated far-right pro-Israel slander campaign in the room with us right now? Or am I just batshit crazy? Is it somewhere around here? Now we have another streamer, Valkyrae, provide her take on this situation, where she talks about how Hasan is a very good dog owner, which I don't disagree with. I don't think he's a bad dog owner. I think he actually might be a pretty decent dog owner with control issues. So I just want to say for the record, I don't think he's a bad dog owner. I just think he never takes accountability for anything, which is a terrible and manipulative trait to have, and is something that you see in people that typically are terrible human beings.
And it's understandable why everyone was freaking out about it, but I can verify that Kaya is the most loved and spoiled and just the most well-trained and best little baby or big baby that I have ever been around. It's kind of crazy. You would think that this kind of outrage, we would have seen it towards like the genocide and stuff, but...
So it's like when Valkyrae, the streamer, was talking about it, it was like, okay, you know, like Hasan is obviously using you for damage control, but, you know, at least you're providing your insight of who he is with his dog. It isn't until she deters away from that thought and starts to criticize the people who are criticizing Hasan and says that we should focus on the Gaza genocide. And it's like, okay, now we most certainly know for a fact that Hasan used you for damage control, because what in the world does Valkyrae know about the ongoing conflict in Gaza right now? Like, wow, Valkyrae, shouldn't you be advocating for Gaza right now instead of playing Mario Party Lego Edition? Like, wasn't she out of the country in the last month for Fashion Week? Oh my god, no way, not while a genocide is going on. And I guarantee you, I bet she regrets her decision about even bringing politics up on a stream in the first place, because now her whole fan base is cooking her for making the decision to DM Asmongold, who is basically anti everything far leftists stand for and is seen as the fucking Beelzebub in their eyes. You know, this is what happens when you build an audience off of mentally ill, snark-brained far leftists who are so bored with their first world problems that they will criticize their favorite streamer for having bad optics. Wow, so not only do you have the opposition attacking you, but you also have your own audience throwing some sluggers in there as well. She is actively getting jumped from all directions as we speak. Who wants a community that consists of people with this moral superiority complex? That just seems so exhausting. All just because she asked advice from a person who has knowledge on that topic. You know, like, do they have to make everything political? Like, can't people who have different views on certain things just vibe regardless? Does it really have to be that deep? Does anybody truly want to cultivate an audience like this where people are entitled to this cause that they probably haven't contributed anything to? And this once again goes back to my narcissistic theory. You know, like, why are you guys so mad at her for not feeling things the way that you do? She's a gamer. That's all she's ever been, you know? Which is why she shouldn't have fell into this vat of acid like Joker did at the Axis chemical factory. Now we have another streamer providing her take on this particular controversy. Her name is Vanilla Mason. She is very big on TikTok, and she is also a part of that LA streamer circle and a very close associate to Hasan. She clearly isn't going to be biased in this controversy in any way, certainly not.
And then all the fucking Hasan, like, people that want Hasan fucking dead were like, he used a shot caller and he's abusing his fucking dog. Bitch, your fucking dog is in your fucking stuffy ass 78-degree apartment all day long while you're at work for fucking 10 hours a day, and you don't keep the fucking AC on, and your dog is pissing and shitting all over the fucking floor, and it smells like hamster fucking hospital in there.
Did she just call me poor?
It blows my mind when people care so much about something like that when there's so many worse, more ridiculous fucking things. I'm like, what the fuck? Like,
so not only did she call us poor, yes, we, but she also said that we collectively should be worried about bigger things, which I do partially agree with. But, like, do you understand that majority of us and her audience as well are capitalist slaves forced to work a 9-to-5? Like, we don't have the time, sweetie. I'm sorry to tell you, we don't have the time that you have. Like, why doesn't her friend Hasan, who has all the time in the world and is a big Palestine supporter who has been making bank off of this cause, mind you, actively make the efforts to actually visit Gaza like he said he was?
Dude, I might actually take Marsh with me to Gaza.
Hasan, is it dangerous?
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, we got Greta Thunberg over there getting waterboarded as we speak right now, probably. And this Roald Dahl BFG motherfucker is too scared to die. And more streamers came to his line of defense like the goddamn virtue signaling Avengers. Even QT Cinderella, one of Hasan's closest associates and podcast co-host, was attempting to come to his defense, but I think was completely stun-locked because she wasn't mentally prepared for this conversation. Even admitted that the model that he used had the shock component attached to it, but that he taped it over and took the prongs off so it only vibrated.
No, there's no shock. Like, the electric prongs are taken out of it.
But here's my thing, right?
Like, it's only a vibrate. Like, there's a setting for vibrate and there's a setting for
True,
shock.
that's a fact. That's a fact.
So there's only the, like, since the prongs are in it only vibrates.
A lie that he obviously told her that she just believed for some reason, maybe because he has some financially manipulative control over her because he is the podcast owner. Because why not just buy the vibration model? We went from her dew claw got stuck to him reaching for a Zen to it's a vibration collar to it's a shock collar but it only vibrates to it was him opening the dog gate to his dog not even having the collar on in that clip, and that people who believe that are delusional. Okay, buddy. Yeah, I kind of just wanted to talk about it. I kind of just went off the dome piece, so it might be a little bit off the rails here and there. I don't know what I even said half of the time, but I will try to reduce the video in 10 minutes or less if I can do that. If not, then it'll probably be 15 minutes or more. Hopefully not. We'll see what I can do. This fucking video right now is about 58 minutes, which is already too fucking long. Anyways, you know, once again, for me personally, did he shock the dog? Did he not shock the dog? I don't think that's what truly matters. What truly is something that we should take away from this controversy is that this man is a manipulative liar who never takes accountability and seems to always kind of turn the goalpost elsewhere and kind of navigate himself out of this situation without really ever touching on the topic itself, which is crazy to me. And also that his audience, his fans, are just as crazy as him. And it's so toxic to see somebody consumed in this type of ideology. Now, granted, I'm not here all the time in this space, in this mental space, right? I can easily leave and forget all about this after this video. Once it comes out, I'm no longer going to stay in the space. But for the people who kind of fixate on this political spectrum to feel superior maybe, or to feel important, it doesn't seem healthy. I don't know what I'm saying. Anyways, that's all for me. I'm off to another dimension. See ya.
Shot my dog, I can't stop. Yeah, shot my dog until she drops. 2,000 volts straight in her top. Cause my dog can't stay in her spot. Yeah.